What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Oh my God, this guy, man. This guy right here, man. I swear. So, I was looking on Twitter, and now that I know that there's a new episode of Mind the Game that airs every Tuesday, because I really didn't care about that, but I remember reading last week that an episode of that podcast airs every Tuesday. So I said, let me see if he said something again insufferable, self-serving, and just cringeworthy that people are talking about. And lo and behold, he did again. So on the recent Mind the Game podcast, which is doing anything but minding the game, Ramon James was talking about Cooper Flagg. Now, Cooper Flagg, of course, almost certainly will be a member of the Dallas Mavericks. Okay. Now, I just read, I think I saw a video from Ticket TV, shout out to Ticket TV, that Kyrie Irving has just signed I think it was almost a $130 million extension. I think that's the figure I saw. So he's locked in. You still have Anthony Davis there. You still have some other pieces there. They should be, even though Kyrie Irving is hurt, hopefully he'll be back by the second half of the season, and maybe they can make a run, this time around. But anyway, Cooper Flagg's going to be a member of a team that does have some established talent. The constantly complaining LeBron James brought up how Cooper Flagg will be in a situation that LeBron James himself wasn't fortunate enough to have. At least that's what he says, right? Because he always compares everything. No matter what LeBron's talking about, it almost always inevitably goes back to him talking about his favorite subject, which is himself. So he said about Cooper Flagg, Cooper, unlike himself, will have the benefit of playing with established superstars, so that he will have not only that quote unquote help that LeBron so-called minions, well, I guess they are his minions, claim that he's never really had, even though the man's played with 20 all-stars in his career. And, I guess that'll help Cooper Flagg with the, as far as his ingratiating himself in the league, and they could be mentors and et cetera, right? And my thing is, like, I just never seen a guy who, I just never seen somebody so unhappy, apparently. Like, this is when you know somebody is coddled to the extreme, because I ain't gonna say that on YouTube, but this guy is never satisfied. He's never satisfied, ever. There's nothing to please this motherfucker, man. So, as we all know, he has a persecution complex. Somehow the world is against him. Somehow, the deck has been stacked against him and he was able to overcome. He has that persecution complex, and it's bad. I never saw anybody complain like this. I mean, there are athletes. Jimmy Butler grew up homeless. Yeah, well, I guess I grew up homeless, but there was a stretch where he was homeless. Stephon Marbury was a Stephon? No, not Stephon Marbury. It was Steve Francis. Steve Francis, I think he grew up in Maryland. Steve Francis lived in a small apartment where it was just 10 people. I mean, not just 10 people. It was 10 people lived in this apartment. And, he sold crack to help make ends meet. They were so fucking poor. That's not to excuse that behavior. That's not to excuse that activity. And that's also not to excuse that, he was pretty much, I don't want to say allowed to do it, but it was tolerated. And basketball was his only way out of this situation. I mean, there are basketball players and there are people who have real rags to riches life stories. I've read about, famous people who grew up so poor they didn't have shoes. Kids laughed at them and made fun of them because they were so poor because they wore the same shirts and only had 2 pair of pants. And, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, didn't have a pair of shoes until I was like 12 years old. I'm talking about back in the day, real poverty. Not this fake poverty people complain about nowadays. Real poverty. When you had to sometimes resort to eating rats or eating, Fido. So I get so annoyed at some of these guys that are complaining about a billionaire. It's just sad, man. Michael Jordan was drafted by a Chicago Bulls team that was, let's just say, plagued with players who really needed to be in some type of rehab program at that point in time, right? They're not the type of players you're going to win with. They had maybe some guys that had talent, but they were always going to be held back by their personal demons. Orlando Woolridge, Quentin Daly come to mind. And, but I didn't hear in archive footage, because I was just a little kid back then, I didn't hear Michael Jordan complaining about that. Michael, how do you feel about this team, the here being your second year in the league? I know you just suffered this injury and you'll be out for some time, but how do you feel about these guys? Hey, look, man, I just can't win with these guys, I mean, I'm not trying to tell my teammates, man, but, I walk into a room, man, these guys got white powder over their face. I mean, what type of shit is that, man? I'm a professional. I'm trying to win. I need some established superstars on my team, man. I can't win unless I have some established stars. You gotta get some of these guys up out of here. Okay? Jared Krause, you supposed to be the man. You're supposed to discover all these great talents. Come and discover some talent, man. I need to win. I gotta have some stars around me, man. I need some help. I mean, I can't do it on my own. I need some. Yeah. Come on, man. I hope Cooper Flagg. I'm gonna tell you what I hope happens. I hope Cooper Flagg wins 2 championships with both Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving. I do. I really do. I hope he wins the championship with both of them. So we can say he won more titles with 2 guys that played with LeBron James than LeBron James could, even with stacking the deck, because other guys are the teams as well. You know what I'm saying? And then the fact that this guy says that as if he's never had help. You never appreciated it, you fucking selfish bastard. But we're going to hear the same thing next year. I'm telling you, it's going to be Richard Jefferson. It's going to be one of these fucking clowns. Even though Luka fucking Doncic is on the team, you're going to hear them say, well, I mean, look, Luka's a phenomenal player, but LeBron still needs more help. He does. He does need more help. We just have to look at the facts. I mean, he can only do but so much. I know what he can do. He can fucking retire. That's what he can do. By the way, I haven't really seen the media, mainstream media, celebrating the Thunder championship. I'm just saying, man. The last time I seen these guys really celebrate a title, like really celebrate one, was when the Lakers won that bubble title. I mean, they was. I showed you the video footage when the Lakers won that championship. I think I showed them a video from a couple months ago. When the Lakers won that championship, ESPN First Take did like a 15-minute segment talking about the Lakers. When the Bucks won the championship, they did a 2-minute segment talking about the fucking Bucks. And they talked about it nonstop for 2 fucking weeks, celebrating. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. What you guys think?